So it looks like my hair aesthetics are once again on point today. So what I've come to realize is that when my hair gets really long and messy like this, I just pretend I'm The Weeknd. If any of you are XO fans, he has that craziness going on and everyone thinks he's sexy, so yeah, that's what I'm going for. I'm going for that crazy Weeknd look. I just need to grow it out a little bit longer. So check it out. Today is deadlift day, and I'm excited. Lately, all I've been able to focus on is the heavy power compound movements, and I really think I'm going to start switching into power training. I just need to get set up with a good powerlifting training split, and I've contacted Candido Training on YouTube. He's good. I chatted with him on Facebook, and then I asked him about possibly setting me up with a routine and everything, and obviously I'd credit him. Anything I showed you guys progress-wise, the credit would go to him. And I know Brandon Campbell is on Dan Green's program right now, which is another option I have. But, I definitely wanted like a more beginner training regimen for powerlifting because I'm brand new to it. And honestly, I wouldn't even mind hiring a powerlifting coach because the technique in powerlifting is a lot different than the technique in bodybuilding. And what you will find actually, if you start studying biomechanics, you start studying the dynamics of a lift, is that a lot of bodybuilders, including myself in some situations, use horrible technique. Not so much form. Everyone uses bad form sometimes, but I consider form like how much momentum or swinging you're putting into a movement. But I'm talking about specific actual technique, like feet stance, hand placement, locking out, driving of the hips or the knees, the actual dynamic of your body to get optimal power while, of course, remaining safe. And you'll find a lot of bodybuilders have very poor technique and they don't optimize their power or their drive in a lot of lifts. And it's because as bodybuilders, we pretty much aim just to activate the muscles, just to hit hypertrophy and look big. We don't actually train to optimize the strength in a given lift. So what I realized, like on deadlifts for an example, what I had going wrong, I always do a conventional stance deadlift, which is where your feet are close together and your legs are a lot more straight, as opposed to a sumo stance deadlift, which is where your legs are really wide apart. It's a very common stance in deadlifting. I can't do sumo at all. I can get like 3 reps out of 405 on sumo. I'm weak in sumo, and then on top of that, my hands in the bar always get caught right on my legs. They get caught on my vastus medialis, no matter what the stance is, no matter how close my grip is. I think it's just something to do with my build. I don't think I'm built for sumos, but whatever. I'm comfortable with conventional. And what I did recently to fix my stance is I met up with Brandon Campbell, and he corrected my form right on video. And unfortunately, both him and I lost that footage, so you'll never see it. But I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm doing to correct my stance. And I got to say, the first week going into deadlifting after correcting that stance, I was able to pull 500 pounds fast off the floor. You remember that in Virginia, I pulled 500 pounds with max tuning, and the pull was really ugly. So I corrected it, used Brandon Campbell's stance update, and boom, I was able to pull it up really, really, really fast. And a couple of onlookers actually told me they thought I had another 20 pounds or so in my deadlift. So stance is everything, and today we're going to practice that stance even more. I don't know how heavy we'll go. It'll all depend on how we feel. Sending out another day's worth of orders for y'all. Make sure you email me your photos, guys. I'll include your YouTube channels, anything you want promoted, and I'll throw it on the site for y'all. nwblifestyle.com. Special shout out to this MedTech driver, whoever you may be. He must have seen the YouTube decal sticker on my car, must have been a subscriber because he pulled up alongside me and did a little flex, which is the universal sign for hello if you're a bodybuilder. So shout out to that gentleman right there. So what I did originally, what a lot of lifters tend to do, I've seen Jeff Side do it, and a lot of physique guys tend to do it, is when they're using a conventional stance on deadlifting, they'll keep their feet really wide. And it's kind of natural, I feel like. You feel like the wider you go, the more power you have, it activates the glutes and all that. So we tend to want to go wider. But when that happens, we end up pushing our hands wider as well. And that's when we end up losing a lot of power. But on top of losing power, the big thing that happens, and I think it's how I ended up injuring my back last year, is when you're this wide apart, your hands are this wide apart, it makes it so you have to reach down even further and grab the bar. And this makes it so your hips pop up higher than your shoulders. And then on top of that, you're using a lot of your glutes to lift the bar up in general. So you're losing a lot of power and you start muscling it up. When your hips are that high in the air, that's how you end up snapping your lower back up.
So what Brandon Campbell showed me, what I've been doing, is simply get your stance closer together. The example I was given was, if you do a standing box jump, where would your feet be when you go to launch off the ground? Because that's where the most power is. So keep them that close together, just inside shoulder width. You want to drop your hands down just outside of them. So hands are straight up and down, 90-degree angle. And what this does is it suddenly props your butt up higher, but then it props your back up higher. So now when you're in your beginning position, you're suddenly much closer to standing up higher, as opposed to before when you're leaning way further down. So you're already high up, your back's inward, center of gravity, and you're ready to launch up. And you're not craning so much with your lower back. The last final detail I'm changing is I'm trying to get used to deadlifting with shoes on. Converse are very, very flat soled, but I always got used to deadlifting with bare feet, so. I don't think we'll get a name. Also, toes are slightly out, optimal power. So that's it. Basically, feet are close together, hands are close together. Keeps your body higher up, ready to launch, as opposed to being like this. That's it. All right, another little thing you're gonna see me still kind of mess up on, because it's habit, but a lot of lifters do it, is not tucking their chins. So in other words, when you see me deadlift, a lot of times you see me throw my head up a little bit like this, which is not what you want to do. It's kind of natural reaction. The thing you're gonna find is a lot of times what feels most comfortable to us tends to be outside of proper technique. So what you really want to do is make a double chin. You want to keep your spine nice and neutral, straight line all the way up to your neck. So if you had like a broomstick, you could put it against your tailbone, right up to your head, and everything would be flat against it. So you actually tuck your chin, and that's how you want to do the proper deadlift. But again, I'm knowingly still messing that part up because it's habit. See how we feel. Drank too much last night. Hey Zach. I like that strong tank.
Yeah, buddy.
So we finished today's pulling with 5 plates. Pretty clean. Definitely wasn't a strong day. I was dragging. Last week we pulled 500 even fast. I mean, I yanked it up effortlessly. You know, today 5 plates definitely felt like 5 plates. So we're gonna call it a day for regular deadlifting and back off a little bit, drop the weight down, and jump back into deficit deadlifts to work in that explosive drive for the rest of the workout. Nice and light on the deficits, all technique. All wrapped up for deadlifts today. Nothing PR worthy. Good solid workout for dads. Working on improving that stance.
Forgive me for the angle, guys. Really quickly, goals for deadlifting. My ultimate goal for deadlifting is 600 pounds. I want to see how close I can get to 600 pounds, if not actually break 600 pounds at my current body weight, which is about 190 pounds. If I ever compete in a powerlifting meet, I'd like to do somewhere in the 180s class, whatever the exact weight is for that class range. I know in the teens it was like the 181 class. I don't know if they have like a 185 class for men's, but I don't want to drop much weight. Not for the sake of having to diet or actually lose the weight. I've done wrestling, I've done bodybuilding competitions, so I have no problem with dieting and dropping pounds. Simply, I'm comfortable at this weight. I like how I feel at this weight. I don't want to go much lower than this for the sake of competing. It's just not that important to me. So what I want to do is instead bring my lifts up to match my current body weight, and I know I have a long way to go. So this is my first month back into heavy deadlifting after that injury set me out of it for about a year or so, and I'm just locking down my technique. I'm getting my technique down really strong again. Once I'm 1,000% comfortable, and I'm getting there, once I'm 1,000% comfortable with my technique, I'll then begin rising into the 500 and see how close to 600 I can get at my body weight of around 190. And I think I can do it because, again, I haven't been training heavily for deads at all. And even before the injury, I was only doing deadlifts like once every 2 weeks, Jay Cutler style, for bodybuilding. So I never really applied myself to actually powerlifting. And I was pulling 510 at a body weight of 173 pounds. So I think if I really set my mind to powerlifting, I can get my deadlift right up to 600. I was deadlifting 315 for reps at 15 years old, weighing 115 pounds. So pulling has always been a stronger area for me. I have faith. But I want to take it really slow, use a lot of safety precaution, and make sure my technique is flawless before I start pushing my limits. I don't want to get injured again. So we're going to do this smart, and I'm going to continue perfecting my technique. But 600 pounds is the ultimate goal for those of you that are wondering. And I'm going to keep you guys updated as I go along. Like I said, I still need to get myself on a powerlifting routine. I'm brand new to it, don't know the first thing about powerlifting, so I'm looking, I'm searching, but I think this will be fun. Subscribe now, guys. I hope you like this video. Please, please, please comment below. Let me know your input, questions, whatever. I like hearing from you guys underneath these videos, so comment away, like the video. Most of all, subscribe now. Peace.